do you want your food to come from, right? So when you sit down and you think about, what was the life of, so just like every dog, retires to go live on a farm somewhere, right? But basically this is the farm that you would want to have your dog go to, right? So it's the same thing about not just, where do you send your dog, but where do you want your animals and your food to come from? And so basically the right way to do it is the way you would want to imagine it. So that's a way to think of it, that it's not, kind of going back to the labels, it's not about certified organic, it's not pasture pork, it's about this is the way we think that the animals should be, because it's best for them, and that means it's best for us. And so we're trying to, it sounds kind of corny, but really thinking about it from that perspective, because if we treated the animals any better, they would be considered pets, and you don't eat pets.
Right.
So it's like that type of a thing. You can't treat them like you treat your dog, but that's not really how they want to be treated. Pigs might be different. Pigs are kind of like big dogs.
Well,
but
one thing, we've all heard the saying, rooting around. Well, that comes from pigs, because what pigs do when they're on pasture is they dig up the soil and root with their nose, because they want to eat not as much the plant above the ground, but the roots in the ground.
And the grubs and whatever else.
Yep. So everything that we do, like I said, we start with the land and build the microbial life and the soil quality, and that builds then the solar panel, which is the plants, which then feeds the cattle and the sheep, who most of the time graze together. We move them from one pasture to the next every 1 to 3 days. We set up movable electric fences so that we can make smaller paddocks to move them to. We raise our own non-GMO corn to use in the feed that we make. We make all our own pig feed for all the different ages of pigs, from piglets up to the harvest size market hogs and the sows. And the pig manure is then spread on the fields to add nutrient to that. So it all does fit together, and it's, the pasture pork is just not the only thing that's going on here, and it really is a holistic approach.
So what term do you, I guess, because it's grass-fed, grass-finished beef. Do you have a particular term that you find to be, I guess, more accurate for instead of pastured pork?
Pre-industrial.
Oh, you said that. That's right.
But people don't know what that means,
right,
unless they do have some experience and connection. So it's easier to say pastured pork because everybody thinks they know what that is, and we, by some of the general standards that people, we meet those ideas and go beyond that.
another good one is she said non-GMO.
right.
So, non-GMO corn is pretty much an oxymoron. It's a grass, right? So it's not like it just was there. So it's, very heavily genetically modified. But what we're against is, gene insertion. So, you have to go. There are these, the common buzzwords in agriculture, but you have to go one or more layers deeper to truly figure out what does that mean. And so, as she said, we use pasture pork because that's what people understand. But it's not really, it's not a very, I don't want to say accurate, it's not a precise term.